Hello. Welcome to Minecraft gameplay. I don't really know how to talk about what we're going to be doing, so I'm just going to do it. I'm bad at naming things. There's going to be a little bit of cut here until I can get a name that I like. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes-ish, roughly. I actually don't know, it could have been longer than that. Long story short, I couldn't think of anything. So, we're just gonna name this title Pending. I did try to see what I want to mess with to see if that would spark an idea or not. We're going with amplified world type. Now that I didn't mess with anything here. So, this will be the world. Alright. Time to get right to it. So, basically, I just wanted to do this because I had nothing else to do, really. I expected to do something today. Shoot, was that it? Oh. 3? Yeah, there we are. Where are we? Where am I? Shoot. Where's 0, 0? I believe this is 0, 0. I've never actually played Java, or I have, but I always grew up on Bedrock. Yeah, this looks right. Anyways, I had plans today, but it kind of fell through, almost. Like, I was expecting to do stuff with my sister, who liked to play Legos. I was expecting her to come talk to me about that and ask me to play, but she didn't, so I ended up actually waiting around the Legos for 2-ish hours, maybe more, because it was after dinner. While I was waiting, I was contemplating doing stuff with the Legos, setting things up and everything, but I wanted to wait for her, so I did nothing. I sat there for a while, and oh hey, there's the chest. Anyways, I waited, and she just didn't show up, so I sat around. We have a chair down in our basement. Nice, like, cushioned one. Sat there and just kind of stared off into space. I mean, I guess I was already kind of feeling a little weird. Like, today, since even before then, I was working on some, like, stuff. It was a drawing, kind of, not really drawing, but writing, making cards, since I like to play card games, so I was making some. And while I was doing that, I was listening to, like, music, different music playlists, because I grew tired of listening to my own, like, favorite kind of music, so I am listening to some new kinds. One of them was involving the Amazing Digital Circus. It was a Kane Crash Out playlist. I'll probably link in the description if I remember it. But basically, it was a compilation of music supposed to summarize how Kane feels or whatever. I don't quite know. All I do know is that they included Daisy Bell. I don't know why, but Daisy Bell has always been, like, weird for me. I always feel kind of emotional towards it. Especially the computer version, the one that everybody says is, like, creepy. And the, like, reason why Kane sings it, probably. I got emotional hearing it again. Just something about a song about love for a computer. Because we chose it for them. We chose it for the computer to sing. It was the first thing a computer ever sang. And we chose Daisy Bell. I cried. I don't know why I cried, but I did. Well, I mean, I guess I literally just explained why I cried. Why I was emotional. I have no clue if that was loud or not. I still gotta mess with the volume of this stuff. You know what? How about I get to here and options, music and sounds, have it down kind of low. We're gonna live dangerously. Hostile mobs at 50%. Should probably just make all mobs at 50%. Maybe I make all mobs. Let me see. Options, music and sounds, friendly mobs will also lower to 50. Done. Done. If it's too quiet now, I don't know, I guess deal with it. As mean as that sounds, but, you know, I kind of like, I as I've grown older, I've realized I appreciate silence or quiet a bit more. I mean, that being said, I still prefer to hear stuff. I don't like being left alone with my thoughts. I mean, no one really does. But I feel like games like to make themselves kind of loud now. I also might just be old. God, I hope I'm not that old. Gonna be 23 soon. Crazy to think that. I know I haven't really done anything yet other than make a horrible structure, but trust me, it's gonna get worse. Aside from explaining, I mean, I don't even really, this is rambling. What, truthfully? I don't know if any of this is gonna make sense. Probably isn't. Again, deal with it. I'm not re-recording this. But the reason why I decided to start this was, as I said, I was expecting to do stuff today, so I was in like anticipatory paralysis or whatever the fuck you want to call it, where I was waiting for something to happen, so I didn't do anything until that moment came. But like I said, moment passed, so that feeling just lingered, waiting. I don't even really remember what happened after my sister didn't come, because I started waiting at like 7 o'clock or something, and then only at 10 o'clock, when my dad came downstairs and turned off the lights, did I like come back upstairs. And then it's like 12 now. But the idea of what to do in this playthrough is just to kind of have a bit of a nostalgic trip, I guess, or show off my own nostalgia in a way, since there's a world a friend of mine had, or a realm, and that realm is no longer around, or at least he stopped paying for it, so I can't play on it anymore. I did enjoy playing on it quite a lot. I was like the only person on it. Also, damn, eating is a bit loud. But he used to have that world, that realm, and I'd be the only one on it for hours. And I had like a house, and I would just keep adding on to it constantly. So I liked it. It was cool. I just kept expanding and expanding onto the house. It grew like a tumor, or at least that's how some people would describe it. One friend, kind of weird relationship I'm in with that person, but friend I'll still call. They're the one that that said it was like a tumor. He was like my bunkmate in the house. And even before that, I kind of had like a tumor house type deal. I still got the world, although I'm afraid to open it up since it's on experimental. And then even before that, I had tumor-like houses and worlds on my tablet when I was younger. And I just kind of miss that kind of architecture. You could call it like backrooms architecture or something, where it was just room after room of like random hallways, random things. I just kind of built it in the moment. Kind of wish I got a sheep, kill them, and got some wool or whatever. I could go mining right now, but I don't know, that'd be a bit interesting, but at the same time I still feel like talking. And I feel like talking's better with some exploration in the foreground. I don't know. Maybe I'll just keep talking and go mining. Okay. I have no clue where I am. Well, I do know where I am. I have pretty good directional skills. But I have no idea where. Let me see. I made my house very apparent. There it is. Let's see where this takes us. Alright. Oh. I'm gonna die here. Could do a pro gamer move and switch to peaceful, but I don't really care. And that's what I get for doing that. Anyways, alright, all my stuff is gone. So, oh hey, sticks. The world giveth and the world taketh away. Took longer than I expected. Okay. said I'd be talking while mining. I mean, I guess I don't know what to talk about now that I explained everything that is gonna happen. Well, not everything. I guess I'll also do in this playthrough what I used to do when I was like little on my tablet, where since I didn't really have friends other than like my brother to play Minecraft with, I'd end up just playing alone. And so in order to make it feel like there were people around, I'd just basically roleplay it like there were people around by being a different person each day. So like, I'd get on, and then I would start like the day as a new person, and at the end of the day I just kind of continue, like, I don't know, it's kind of hard to describe, but you'll probably see that being like, instead of every day I play a new person, every video I end up being a new character within the world, quote unquote. So this first character here is just kind of, I don't know, Prometheus or whatever the fuck. Prometheus was the one that brought fire. I don't know who made like the Tower of Babel. Wasn't it the entirety of humanity? I'm not a religious person, so I don't know. But we're gonna make a tower. An anchor for all the future people to see. I don't know why this character would do it. I kind of made characters up as I went. This first character, I guess we'll say, is insane or something. I mean, all the characters are gonna end up being insane. They're all me. I'm not saying that I'm like insane, but like, I definitely am not a normal person. Although we all know normalcy isn't like real. There is no singular normal person. It's average. That took way longer than I thought it would. Okay, I think where I died was somewhere around here. Over there, I think. I don't quite remember where I died, but I mean, I think I don't know. I didn't expect to die this early. So I could either do new character every time I die, or every new video or something. I'm not sure. I actually don't even know how many videos I'd be doing. Wait, that's where I died. So I guess we'd be playing a second character right now if it was per death. Yep, that's where I died, over there. Probably gonna die again coming this way. like I was saying before, yep, there's the death. There's the place where I died and I didn't get my stuff. Shame, because I'm pretty sure right up here is home. But I've played Java, sort of. Me and my partner have. They invited me to a server for Java Minecraft modded. It was like Pokemon Minecraft, and it was fun because I was with my partner, but they were also a moderator, so they were busy with other people's stuff. They had responsibilities to deal with. Lodestone. Cool. So we didn't really get a chance to hang out all too much. And there's nothing wrong with that. But the issue was just kind of how it was set up. I felt lonely, I guess, since I'm not a big Pokemon fan. So catching Pokemon didn't really entice me as much as it did other people who grew up on Pokemon. I mean, I grew up on Pokemon, but the people there loved it. It's been their entire world, their entire childhood. It's a serious dedication to Pokemon. It's impressive what they did. But I just couldn't get into it because Pokemon, my experience growing up on Pokemon, I had a version of Pokemon Pearl on the DS that was actually my uncle's. He gave it to me, and I was really young when I got it, so I actually didn't know how to wipe save data on it. So when he gave me his world, or his version of it on the DS, it came with all of the stuff he had already done. He basically finished the game. I think he did finish the game completely. So I was stuck playing the same day over and over again because I didn't know how to save. I didn't know how to wipe save data. So I got used to playing the same day over and over again, going to the same place, catching the same Pokemon. And that was kind of what I expected of Pokemon, in a way. And I liked that. I didn't really like the combat or the characters or whatever. I've never cared for the designs of Pokemon, even though that seems to be the thing that everyone only enjoys about Pokemon sometimes. But on the Pokemon server that my partner had, it was beautifully made. There was a lot of great buildings because my partner was the main builder, and they take their craft very seriously. So it looked beautiful. The issue came with some of the mods the one in particular that, like, grinds my gears, or I just personally didn't, like, fuck with, was the Waystone mod. The one where you can put, like, a little thing in the world, and then you can teleport between them. So, if there was one over there, and one over here in my base, I could travel all the way over to that mountain by going here, clicking on it, getting a little, like, menu to go all the way to the one in the mountain, and it's convenient. Very convenient. But it also meant you didn't appreciate anything in the world, really. Everything was next to each other in a, like, way I just didn't like. Because people would only ever spend, like, a minute in any given location, and then they'd immediately go back to their base. And there wasn't any reason to stick around in them. So, all that work, hours of my partner's time wasted, essentially, because people couldn't spend more than a minute around it. And it infuriated me. I refused to use the Waystone mod out of principle. It didn't do anything. But it did heighten my loneliness in a way. Because if you didn't use the Waystone mod, then you're left behind. Everybody had bases thousands, if not millions, of blocks away. So, for me, it was a dedicated effort to go visit someone. But for everyone else, it was just like walking into the next room, and they were there. That's the best way to explain how the Waystone mod feels, is that everything is like one room away from each other when you have teleportation. So, because nobody was around the structures, I couldn't hang around structures to like, hang out with people, right? So, in order for me to get any kind of socialization, I'd have to, like, go out of my way to find people, and I don't think people like that. There were built-in systems to kind of show you where people were. Like, there was a thing that announced if a shiny or like special shadow Pokemon or whatever was around. Like, it announced it in the chat. And it would always be around where someone is. So that means you could know for certain that someone was there. So whenever I saw that thing, that little coordinates in the chat, I wasn't going for Pokemon, I was going for people. The few times I've done that, though, people didn't like it. It felt like I was stalking them, apparently. My brother in Christ. It's a feature of the game, or of the server. Literally anybody could do it. We're like the only 2 people right now in this server. I get that you made a conscious effort to, like, go thousands of blocks away, but at the same time, what's like a little visit coming over? I have nothing to do. you're just kind of like working on something, but I'm not even interrupting you. And I know I'm making it seem like I'm the victim here, and it's like, probably not. Probably did overstep a boundary or something. I don't know these people. And I think that's also why I didn't like the server either. I didn't know them, and they didn't really want to know me. I had no interest in the things they had interest in. That being Pokemon. Hold on, I'm gonna sneeze. Not only did not sneeze, but I did not pause. I ended recording. I am not good at this. Anyways. They're interested in Pokemon, and I couldn't get into it very much. And then, because I wasn't really into Pokemon. I didn't really have Pokemon on my own. I had Rattatas, because I like Rattata, because I like rats. But that's about it. I didn't have a team to play. But at the same time, I wouldn't want to play, because it seems like every day someone was getting angry at what someone else was playing in the server. So it's probably best that I didn't like play also, because I would have just gotten mad like everyone else did. So aside from that being the experience with Java, one kind of bad-ish experience, I guess. I mean, I still enjoyed it, but I don't think I'm gonna go back and play on it again, at least not the way it is now. I heard things are changing, but I don't know how much of it is changing. And like, that was my experience with Java, but one, it was modded. Two, like, I was also in creative, I guess is the other compounding issue of why I didn't like it. So I was in creative, so I didn't really have anything to do. Like, I didn't have a goal other than to build, because that's kind of why I joined. Is I wanted to build like a town, but the town I was working on was gonna have some lore involving another person, but that other person like wasn't well, they were on, but they were also a moderator, so they were busy all the time. So my project got delayed for indefinitely, I guess is the best way to put it now, but it got delayed because I couldn't do anything. So in order to pass the time, I'd explore. I'd walk around, I'd go to people's spaces, I'd go and spectate other people battling. Like, I listened like a hawk for if people were doing something somewhere, so that way I didn't have to sit around on my empty island waiting for my chance to talk to the person about like the lore and how the town should be set up. So I had nothing to do because I was in creative. So I'd go try to talk with people, but people didn't want to get talked with. So that means I'd have to build. But but also because the Waystone system is in place, I kind of didn't really want to build because it meant that nobody would even see what I did in the first place. So it was kind of like a fruitless task altogether there. And it just kind of like all compounded in to make it a like kind of bad experience for just me personally. Everybody else kind of like enjoyed it from what I know. So in order to fill in that kind of Minecraft niche, because I also played on that server for like weeks, days in a row. And that wasn't like the best for my mental health entirely because of what I've already listed. Oh shoot, is it turning night? I could have... But yeah, so Java. Not much experience with Java. Is there sheep somewhere around here? The game I would be playing right now, if I wasn't waiting for something again, and that is Lucid Blocks. I have Lucid Blocks on my computer, and I like playing it, but I stopped at a certain point because of work, and I wanted to continue it, but I saw Lucy B. Locks said that there would be like an update to it, something, and I wanted to wait for that. I wanted to wait for big update, come back in, feel amazed with all the cool new stuff, because that's kind of like what I tend to do, is I tend to wait, since I have no problems with waiting. I remember when I was at work, my dad was supposed to come pick me up, and one of my managers said, "I'm very patient." Like, she was surprised. Not really surprised, but she complimented me for being very patient. That's a thing that when she was younger she didn't really have. And yeah, I guess patient is a good way to describe it, but I also don't seem to notice. I can kind of entertain myself. It was only like 30 minutes anyways, too. 30 minutes isn't even a long wait. Clearly, since I spent, what, 3 hours in the basement waiting for my sister. Guess I kind of tend to do that, is wait. Am I using US Therapy? No. I don't know. I also tend to be silent. This is kind of a weird experience to be talking to myself for so long. We'll get... Oh, it's Silk Touch. I'll get better at it as I go, I imagine. But at the same time, it's kind of fun rambling. I have to go back to my house. It's been nearly an hour. I don't know if I'm gonna cut this up into multiple episodes or something. I know that for the Tomodachi Life gameplay that I posted earlier, I did it in 3-hour intervals. I kind of don't want to do that with this, because uploading a 3-hour video is far too much. So, I'm likely not gonna do that. In that case, we're probably going to end off in a bit. For part 1. So I guess I'm gonna be uploading like 4 or 5 parts today. How are you here, pal? We'll probably end off in like a bit. But yeah, the Tomodachi Life. I want to make more of that, but also I definitely need to trim it down into like an hour or 30-minute intervals for that one. Let me see. So we're gonna go with the narrative that every time I die it's a new character, just because I feel like there hasn't been much done in this episode. I don't know what to name this character for right now. I don't even know what to name the first character. The first character that died within the first... They died within the first, like, 10 minutes of of their life. I guess this character can be called the Miner, and the first character can be, did I say the Prometheus line before or after they died? I don't know. I'll have to check. But if they did die before the Prometheus line, we'll call that guy Prometheus. First character who died tragically because I didn't get a bed. I still haven't gotten a bed. I should do that first. That will be the end of the episode, when I get a bed. Is there gonna be... I didn't expect it to be this hard to get a bed. Come on. Let's go down to these guys here. These pigs. And we'll get up. And then that'll be the end. But first character, their name is Prometheus. And they died. Those are new sounds that I have not heard before. When did we change the sounds? Okay, I'm getting distracted. Where are you? Come on. There's gotta be There's gotta be a sheep somewhere. I don't know what to really call this series either. I would have called this series whatever I would have named the title of this world, but I didn't do that. Fuck. It's already turning to night. Come on, there's gotta be a sheep somewhere here. Maybe making this world into the extreme terrain generation was a mistake. Because I don't see any sheep. I'm likely gonna die falling down. Well, I failed my mission. So, this will be the end of the video. Right here. Here, we can even pretend we got a bed. Hooray. What was it, F5? Yeah. Hooray. Sleep time. Good night, everybody. Well, I'm gonna be up for another hour. Probably gonna do a part 2 episode immediately after this. Good night.